All right, apologies for starting late, but we will officially call this meeting to order. If the council has had the opportunity to review the claims for payment, as well as the minutes from last month's meeting, or entertain a motion.
Motion to approve claims and minutes.
I will second.
Motion and second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Great. Land use permit from last month, the Big Iron.
So nothing changed here other than the actual owner of the property filled this out or signed it, is that correct?
The person that's leasing it, so my question last month was that Big Iron was submitting a permit, but Sullivan owns the land.
Okay,
And I reviewed some paperwork that provided by Tracy, that Sullivan's
oh,
provided that Big Iron has the authority to
gotcha.
do that. Now, the only question I personally have is the building inspector. And I think we were going to check with Darren to see if that type of a unit could be placed there. That's what I think I recall. Does
That
that
it was-
sound right?
That it was truly temporary and not considered permanent. Not to put words in your mouth. I think that was the
So-
discussion.
Darren just deals with construction though, he's not.
Only construction? Okay,
As far as zoning, that's a city issue.
okay. So then that would have been up to maybe Tracy. I wish she was here, but she's sick. Or has some sick kids, so maybe, I think we were talking about doing it last month, approving it contingent upon. And I just had question about the authority level, authority line, and I'm agreeable to what is in place. So if we want to approve it contingent upon it meeting our ordinances.
Who's gonna make that determination?
City administrator. Looking at what our ordinance says, and if it, I would be agreeable to that. Do you think we need to have someone else weigh in on it?
I mean, if she has questions, she should
I'm sure she'll,
consult the attorney.
I would guess.
Do we know the duration that it's gonna stay there?
Is it gonna stay on wheels or is it gonna turn on blocks?
I know they're anxious to get it placed, but it doesn't say how it's going to be affixed or attached to the land. So,
Well, they're installing utilities, so you can't imagine it's gonna be real temporary, right? I mean, you're gonna put water or sewer in there, it's electrical. There still should be some kind of plans that go through there. Do you know?
I don't know, no.
I
If
thought
it's a
Tracy,
modular home or something like
I
that,
was
it
just
still would
thinking
have to
that.
go through the.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna look to see a placement on the lot, or if that particular building can go in that particular spot.
Okay.
He's not gonna do that, but he'll make sure that the construction is up to code. That's what he'll do, the construction of the building itself.
so how do we word it? So approve it contingent upon what Tracy, city administrator, all talking with Darren, building inspector
Well,
slash.
both things will have to be by the law.
And if contingent upon that it is, then we approve it. So how do we work it? Well, yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to exactly.
Did you get all that?
It's recorded. So on approval by the city zoning ordinance administrator and the building inspector. Contingent upon
City,
How about that?
okay, so city ordinance, okay.
zoning administrator would be, which is the city administrator. I think in the ordinance, it's called the zoning administrator.
Okay.
And the building inspector.
And the building inspector.
I'll second that motion.
There is a motion and a second on the table to approve the land use permit contingent on approval of the zoning coordinator, which would be the city administrator, as well as building inspector. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign? Carried. Open forum. Anyone here to speak on anything not currently on the agenda?
Julie, yes, I want to give you a quick Lions update. The Lions have been helping with the Christmas decorations. In the last meeting, they approved to go ahead and purchase 5 more decorations. They're going to look like this. And so they're around $2,500 for those. And then when we were thinking about that, we were brainstorming and, for beautification, once committee wants to do something on the wreaths, so those are all on sale and stuff right now, but I wanted to hand that out. Dawn, you want to add anything else with that?
So we have 22 of the green poles, so that comes to just a little under $7,000 for the wreaths.
And we do have
Money,
the
That-
commitment from.
yes. We don't know the dollar amount on that, so we'll have to wait to find out on that too. So there, even if we did so many this year and so many next year or something too, if we decide to do that.
These are for the Cobra lights then?
Those are the Cobras,
And the- what-
Highway 212 is what the Lions are
Yeah.
participating.
And the wreaths are,
for the green NSP
Main
lights.
Street.
or
okay,
excellent
so they're
lights, yeah.
to change.
These are different than the ones we got last year. though,
Yeah.
correct? Every other. Every other.
Is there a reason why some of them are on and some of them aren't? And are all the poles capable of having electrical service?
When you're talking about Highway 212, Deb Kroger, those have got ground fault interrupters on them, and when it rained out, it tripped them all, so we had to go back and punch them all again. And the one over by the school is plain worn out, it won't reset. So there'll be some electrical work done on that stuff, and those poles, again, that stuff is right on 18 years old now, so we're meant to be replacing whole receptacles or whatever.
But
I'm
all of
open
them,
with,
so all of them had them on, so we
Yes.
can put lights on,
Yeah.
okay, that's what.
Yep. so, then I'm hoping that with the new,
LED.
LED lights are not gonna require the transformers, just an outlet, but I'll visit with Wade on that over the summer, and see what we can do.
Well, these purchases don't require any city dollars to go into it. So, correct?
For the
Because
Lions,
the Lions
the Lions part.
Yeah, they said.
to accept the.
We don't know how much the other contribution will be. So when we get that, we can decide that in February meeting.
When does the,
The sale goes from March 31st or until they're out of stock.
So the sooner the better.
It'd be nice to order.
Have you talked to a rep? Have they given any indication of how quick they're selling?
Well, we're jumping on the Lions ones right away, so whatever you guys wanna do there, I haven't asked them about those, so I certainly can know. Shipping's always a deal, when you get this stuff, so you're inclined to do that. I think I can, place the order for the Lions, I'll hold them until next month's meeting, if you guys want, I think that would be in order.
will we know what
I
according
hope
to their
so.
donation is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope so.
Well, we can take action on this one out of the way.
So what's the motion accepting the donation from the Lions Club for, how many?
5.
5 of these? I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion and second to accept the donation from the Lions to purchase 5 additional lighted snowflake silhouettes to add to our Christmas decorations. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Great. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Yep.
Anyone else? You guys are taking a class or anything, are you?
They all need signatures.
All right. Oh, they're on the agenda, that's fine. Discussing the fire department potential new hall. Is there a
Yeah,
representative?
there's a few of us. So, we were, after this past year buying a fire truck, we were hoping to maybe start talking with the city about trying to set up some plans and everything to start working on a new fire hall. You can sit up there, we're gonna have different people, I don't care. See, he told me you gotta sit up there. So, I believe you guys got the blueprint and everything, and we would be the fire department and the MRU both together in one building then. Instead of having 2 buildings like we do right now. I know this building was built in 1958, if I'm not tonight, I knew it was older than I was. And they just didn't have build trucks like they do now. Back then, they didn't even think about it, which is fine. But we are outgrowing what we have. We've got 4 trucks, as you guys have all saw and everything, and we have a third of our gear over there in the other building with MRU back in there also, as well as Dave's stuff that he has to take care of too, so it would just, I think it would make sense. John's got some info on it, Joe's got info. We've got, John's gonna give a little presentation. If you've got any questions, feel free to interrupt him and ask.
Hey everyone, I'm John.
Hello.
So, I was just, as we've been talking about this over time, it's becoming more and more apparent that the need is definitely growing. And so there was definitely, there's a lot of points that I wanted to bring up, the pros and the reasons to why we're looking at this new fire hall. It's not because we want something new and shiny, and it's definitely a factor of we need it. When you look at the fire hall currently, and the garage doors, they reach a height of 9'6", 9'7". The average height of a fire truck is 10 to 12.5 feet. That's the average height, and roughly 8 to 9 feet wide. If you go in the fire hall, you'll see that the trucks are slammed together pretty close. Makes it pretty tough when you've got a call and you've got multiple guys trying to get into multiple trucks. Everything's kind of crammed in there. You really don't have a lot of space for storage, a lot of stuff sitting on the floor. And like John said, we have stuff over in the MRU hall. The cost of trucks will continue to be an issue, which Junior will talk about, just because we have very limited options with the door restriction. So it definitely takes a lot longer to find a truck that will fit our hull or have to customize, which on top of that costs say anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 depending on how much work needs to be done. We were really struggling to find this truck that we purchased this year. It actually taken a few months, and big concern there was that if we couldn't find a truck in time that would fit this haul, that would affect property taxes. That would hurt our insurability. So that's another issue, because the new haul, we'd have 0 issues. You have large doors, as you can see in the blueprint. Doors would be tall, doors would be wide. We'd have 0 issues finding a truck that would fit in those halls. Speaking with Connor, Connor McNamara, who always works on our trucks. So he shared with me, and he talks about this a lot, is basically after you hit the 20-year mark with the truck, it becomes near impossible to source and find parts, and to source and get parts in a fast manner. Becomes increasingly difficult the older and older the trucks get. And we have, how many trucks over 20 years old? 3? What's that?
2.
2 or, yeah. One being our main pumper. that we use as well too. And so this in turn causes our trucks to be offline while he has to wait for parts, allowing us to, or causing us to rely on mutual aid. A new hall will also allow us to implement new technology that's more energy efficient. Thus, it's going to reduce the cost day to day. The very, very important factor here that we don't currently have is this new space will provide us the ability to have an extractor and a dryer, which would clean our turnout gear. When we're on a call, we're exposed to carcinogens, cancerous materials, contaminants. That's all sitting on our gear. We don't have an extractor, we don't have a dryer, we don't have the ability to clean our gear in this hall. We also don't have space to properly store our equipment. Like I said, we have backup hose, extra turnout gear, the ambulance supplies, basically zero space for storage. A lot of this stuff sitting on the floors, tripping over it. And so when we're looking at the design of this fire hall would be, of course, touring other fire halls, seeing what would work best, but getting ideas there that would work, for what we need. Big factor here would be partnering with the ambulance, with MRU, and that's going to help us with funding, the ability to create a more effective department with MRU and the fire department, do more combined training opportunities, get everyone what they need in one space. A new hall, it's also a great way to engage our community. We'll have the space to host fundraisers, community events, which in turn can also be a way to recruit new members with a well-maintained station. The old fire hall, the plus there is that it could be used for the city, for their equipment, for their vehicles, allow them to keep their vehicles inside at a more central location in town, give them more storage for the stuff that they need. And then, you're thinking about the how. And so when you're looking at the how, there's a lot of forums and places that I've reached out to already. There's a lot of grants out there. There's a lot of money out there. It's just the applying and going through that process. There's USDA grants, state legislators, DNR grant, community block development grants. A lot of money out there to really help with the lift of this project. And so with the ambulance joining us as well too, that only benefits more to include more funding there as well. On top of that, the ideas are rolling in with how we can raise money as a fire department, as MRU. We're not just going to rely on grants, raffles, sponsorships, engraved bricks, plaques. I mean, really anything we can do to get this going, to get help from the community. We're going to try it. And so this won't just be us going through the grants and loans. We're going to work hard to try to bring money in as well too. And so when you look at it, I mean, the cost is only going to continue to go up as time goes on. Trucks are getting harder to find that are going to accommodate our fire hall. And when you think about it, the new hall, it really symbolizes that we're committed to our first responders, our community that cares about the safety of our residents. We believe that with the help and the support of this community and city council, that we can significantly enhance our capacity to serve our town, our surrounding area, ensuring that we can continue to provide the highest level of emergency response services. Well, I have, so thank you.
Thanks, John.
I can talk about trucks, yes. Well, we did this last time, and looking again back in some more of the stuff that I had before, contacting my guy that I do have, since we were trying to build a truck a while ago, and that fell through, didn't really go work very well. We found a diamond in the rough. I could only find 2 more that currently would fit in the hall that we have presently, and they were already over 20 years old. And then, being that said, I just had them throw me some stock options that we have, so brand new ones. I'm not saying we'd ever have to do this, I'm just putting this as saying how expensive trucks have gotten. So just a stock pumper right now, brand new out of the door, which, well, I should say out of the door is 20 to 36 months out. Right now is about $600,000, just a brand new pumper. And then a tanker is also $480,000 right out of the gate. But I was looking on some of the websites for used trucks, and you can find some that are the 2018 models without having to modify anything. They're down in the 200,000 range with only a few hours, a few miles on them. They usually come from the bigger cities since they retire them within usually 5 to 10 years, they're out the door. Just gotta kind of watch some of the auctions sometimes. That's usually a good place to go to. But, talking with my guy also, I said, just on an average, how much is it to customize a vehicle to fit in our hull? He goes, well, I need a little bit of information. I said, max height of, let's say, 9'5". He goes, on average, just talking with his other salesman today, he said a minimum of $100,000 just to customize it to get it down low enough to fit in the hull. So that would be the benefit of this new hull. Wouldn't have to worry about these height restrictions or length restrictions as well. That's kind of where I was stuck at a little bit too. Trucks are actually getting a little bit longer as well as taller. So we're gonna start running into the back wall here pretty quick too. But like I said, some of these ones that the big cities have, they're pretty cheap. We can save money that way by not having to customize all the time or spending 6 months to find one. So
How much did we spend on the last truck that we just bought?
this last one, it's 300,000 is what we bought it for. And that was a 2018, so we bought a diamond in the rough that somebody had that insurance just said they didn't want to deal with it. The guy that I said, he said, I think it was just a little minor of a door skin, but the insurance company in that city just didn't want to deal with it, so they gave it to these guys. And that's what came out with that one. So I think that's about all I got, unless you guys got any other questions for me.
Part of this also is, I don't remember if the door measurements are on there, we'd be looking at going 2 feet wider on our doors as well as 6 feet taller. So.
Yep.
we
12 by
wouldn't have-
16s.
Yeah, 16 tall and 2 feet wider on each one also, because why not? It just makes it easier to get between them. 12 by 16. Yeah, instead of these 10 by 10s, it'd be 12 by 16.
Location?
If it were, the city owns that right over by the storage over there, the old lumberyard.
By the community garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would allow us to get on 212 quicker and not have to worry about driving by the daycare and all these other local businesses. I'm mostly scared about the daycare, when we're having to drive by there as well too, so.
So are you looking for any action items from the council?
Right now, we're just trying to open up conversation with you and see if we can get help
We were kind of
get help from whoever you can find to help us with the grants also. Whether it's Tracy and Dawn, which I realize they're plenty busy, but just extra help with that. John's been doing a lot of our grants, applications and stuff. We haven't gotten any yet, but we keep trying. But some of these bigger ones, when we're looking at them, there's a lot of information he needs from me as the fire chief with all our calls and everything, as well as the budget for the city and all these other numbers. He spends some serious hours on this on his own time.
I've looked through grants for a new building and it's a big undertaking. That's not something I would imagine any of us guys would want to do. We would need someone probably with experience to do that, to ensure we could pull something like that in. And Michael Donaty was the general manager of Rice, who built this plan. He's more than happy to come out and speak to you. If you wanted to meet with him, if you have any questions about what he drew up, the plans that they have experience building multiple fire stations across the state. And so he's more than happy to come out with any questions if you guys want to sit down with him. So.
Not that it would be a limiting factor, but if we went down to that site, is there some restriction in place if does it have to remain a park, or was there something
Just for the public use.
public use?
So fire hall.
Fire hall would be public use, no problem.
I thought there was a restriction, but.
The only restriction we would have is we would have to access the street. We can't access from the department to 212.
Would these doors be facing south?
You'd come to the
They would
west.
face west.
They'd be facing west.
They'd be facing west.
That's a MinDOT thing.
Yeah.
A line of sight is everything when you're leaving with an emergency vehicle like that.
Absolutely.
So,
It's definitely a better line of sight coming off of that road than it is going
Yeah.
up Main Street here, or even up by the gas station if we ever went that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know that there's any disagreement with the council. I think everyone just gets sticker shock when you start looking at those numbers.
Absolutely, especially you after building
Yeah.
yours over there in Olivia. Yeah, I mean, there's always that.
Correct. Josh had thrown me a few numbers. He's on Olivia Fire as well, since they're redoing their whole deal. They're not tearing it down, they're redoing the whole inside and adding 2 bays. I think he said right now they're at 2.2 million just redoing. And
What they're doing over there.
yeah, and I'm just like,
And that's opposite.
And that's not really an option here. It's
No.
not an option
No,
here.
there is nowhere to go here.
I was surprised they just didn't tear that one down and redo, but I think they would lose their grandfathered in for 212.
And even if
they did
we,
that.
Yes.
even if we did have the room, if you're to remodel, say we could do it here, we'd have to rip that half of the building off to start with, because the doors would still be limited in height with the roof. So,
Depth is definitely a good one.
Because I think 32 feet is the max we can go before we start running into our locker space.
I think the last truck I was looking at, when we were doing that to measure it out, yeah, 30 feet, and we'd have to move one of the heaters.
Yeah.
Then that would leave us still a couple feet to skinny around the truck.
Yep.
Anybody? Yeah, we're good.
Do we have some money put aside today?
And all went to the truck.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, the truck kind of-
$10
the truck kind of burned that up, we realized that, you know, and
We're on zero.
and of course, that's, you know, that's always the way it goes, unfortunately, but
It's definitely not gonna get built, obviously, next year,
Mhm.
say if we do even find funding, it's gonna be a few years before we start.
which of course increases the cost.
Yeah, we always
Right.
ultimately.
Also, but
Do you know if does FEMA have any grants?
You do, yeah. And that's one I had glanced at as well too. It's a big application process.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably know with like your DNR grant and everything. I mean, every detail, every detail has gotta be in there, you know, and it's not something that,
Maybe it'd be worth looking into somebody.
Yeah.
The city, I can't speak for the whole council, that could pay for somebody to do,
Mhm.
this is a big undertaking.
Yep.
So we wanna make sure it gets done. right.
Does this guy help you work on that?
no, they don't do grant writing or anything like that, no. They know people, but.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
He's
actually, yeah,
outliner helping you find stuff.
that's a good idea. He just got that one for the,
Baker House.
then he got the one for the trailer.
He sent a couple our way too.
Be a good resource.
Yeah.
So you're just wanted to open the,
Wanted to start
Lines of
opening the
communication.
conversation and see if you guys were willing to start looking at it with us, or if you're against it. I mean, we don't wanna start putting a lot of hours into this and then having you guys, no, we don't wanna do it. You know, we wanna at least get a feel for what you guys think also.
This has been talked about for a long.
It has been, but we
It always
wanna,
comes down to where do we get the money to. do
exactly,
this, you know?
no,
And it's
absolutely,
only getting more expensive, like you said.
yeah. But we just wanna, if you guys are in favor for it, we'll start going full bore on this. Looking at stuff, trying to figure things out, get grants, applications going. I'll be glad to talk to Mark, that's a good idea, I didn't think of him.
Yeah, I'm very supportive of researching it, and it's just a matter of how we're gonna,
Yeah,
what
understand.
funds we can find, what sources of use, you know,
Mhm.
but I'm supportive. I don't know about anyone else.
I'm into it.
yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't think anyone has anything negative to say. It has been talked about for many, many years. And I think it's one of those big ticket things that kind of keep putting to the back burner because of the large cost associated.
Mhm. It just reinvigorated the department with this truck that we got, you know? And like Joe said, yeah, we got a real diamond in the rough. I mean, this is a amazing truck that we managed to get, that fit. So we're very happy with it.
When's the next truck to be purchased?
The next one would be the Tender, and how old is that thing now?
That is a 95.
That's a 95.
Remember correctly?
So,
Mhm.
So before we buy another truck, if we can, if I'm hearing right, we can save approximately $100,000 to not
I
customize.
would think 100, 150 type thing, yeah, because
I would say,
if we don't have a limit to what size it is, we could actually get a pumper that would hold more water at a lower cost, then, why not?
Well, the problem is they're not built that size any longer.
Exactly,
Fit. So
exactly.
every year that goes by, it's going to be more difficult to find one,
Yep.
so.
Is there any talk in this, I went to a meeting many years ago, wasn't there some talk about there being like a combined, yeah, is there any, is that dead?
Fizzled out,
That fizzled out.
because there was only, I think, towards the middle or the end of it, end of those meetings, there was only 3 or 4 of us that were actually
Oh, the
wanting
Dan-
to do it.
oh.
It would have been Olivia, us and Danny.
Oh,
Where do you,
How do you handle who runs what
yeah,
and who funds what? You know, that kind
it
of
was a
thing.
great idea. You'd probably get more money from the state, but you're gonna have to hire like 3 full-time people just to pay full-time a year just to run one department in 3 different spots. And then that's where it kind of ended.
Sure.
Just all that red tape, you know, between all the towns.
yeah. Yep.
Spent a lot of work.
Well, I think it is a project worthy of further exploration and looking into, and again, the money is always the big issue, so. Any research into grants or whatever type of funding is out there. I think is what the council would need to move forward. The budget is set, there's,
Yeah, and like we said, we know it's not gonna happen this year, that's why we're coming to you now.
Mhm.
It's January, so now we've got, you know, a year, 2 years to get your budgets adjusted if need be too, at the same time, that kind of thing. Yeah, we're not expecting to start this next month, or anything. We, love to, but
You guys have any money? Does the,
There's some in the
There-
relief.
there's some in the relief, but not a lot. We use that to keep things going, buying
that's
homes.
not
and
separate
stuff.
for a,
We don't
house
have
versus
we
a
don't have it set aside
year.
for, yeah. No, it's a general fund that we have and.
Okay.
You know, we, have a lot of hoses that we're gonna have to be replacing, plus with the new truck. We need to get more hoses because, you know, that truck came with nothing, so we had to put everything on there. So, which is fine, then it's exactly what we want, where we want it, you know?
Yeah.
But that all costs money also.
we talked about an extractor and a dryer for turnout gear.
Yes,
Does that extend the life of the
Yes.
turnout gear then?
it does.
So what do we use currently?
A
No,
hose,
a hose, we just hose off.
if we get somebody that's really bad, we can get to another town that has one,
We can use a livid if need be.
you know, if need be, so I mean,
But
but,
then you're stuck over there.
Obviously,
It's kind of like going to,
the main point of the extractor and the dryer is more for ourselves, not having
Sure.
that chemicals and carcinogens on our body every time we put it on, even for training, it's still in there.
I mean,
It extends our health.
I don't actually do it anymore. And Don was, I think you and I talked about it one time.
It was a long time.
I think the state, wow. I think the state will give so much money to help pay for that. So they're like 12 grand. Roughly. I mean, for both.
There's gotta be grants out there or something like that.
Yeah.
Safety grants.
does that take up a big area?
Yes, because they're,
it would, and we've already,
that's why we.
in our plans, that's part of it, we have no room right now for something like that, you know?
And then we can get our air tanks, you know, their air tank things over in the MRU shed. Everything will be in one place.
The FEMA grants that are out there is a good idea to look into in the forefront. I know even with Olivia, by the time it came to our attention, that all has to be approved and in concrete before you start the
Mhm,
project.
Yes,
So,
Yes.
You have to show need.
yeah, it's, there's a lot of criteria,
show
but
need and commitment. and
regardless,
everything
if
before
you've
you-
already started, they're like, don't bother. Because
That wouldn't be like fundraising, you could do fundraising, right, to start.
you could do fundraising,
It's just like
but
building.
if you,
It's the actual construction you start,
even land prep stuff, even
yeah.
any of that is considered part of the project.
So are you guys thinking that you want us to dedicate the land space to you tonight? Is that what you're asking from city council? Like, that we, you know, put your name on a flag out there so you guys can say future home?
That wouldn't be a bad idea, I guess, but I mean, it's already city property and I mean, if somebody else comes in and has an idea for you, we'd come in right away and start trying to levy our opinion then. I don't think we need to do that yet. Mainly, it was, like I said, it was just to make you aware of what the costs are, what we've got at the moment, and just let you know and see if you're willing to work with us.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Proposal was well done.
I'm staying. Yeah.
Resignation.
Oh, yes, and we have a resignation on the fire department also. Kieran,
We said yes.
yeah,
Just one.
not me. We have a firefighter that moved. He was on, he took a year's leave of absence with us. He reached out to me right before Christmas and, cause he wasn't sure when he was moving if they would work out or not. He wanted to have the option to come back. What is Kieran's last name? Nicholson. Yeah. And he reached out and said that things are going well for him and he thinks he's gonna stay and he needs to resign. So we do need that while we're done.
Motion to approve resignation.
1 second.
Motion and second to approve the resignation from the fire department of Kieran Nissison. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Splash pad update.
Thank you.
There's your chair.
There she be.
You next.
Here I am. All right, so just touching base on splash pad things. I'll do a little recap and then we met the other day. Kind of the splash pad committee right now is I represent the splash pad organization. Then we got Dave and Ben Osseth and then Tracy, she was out sick, and then Dusty. So we have some money spent on this project. It's over $350,000 roughly-ish. And our grant was for $700,000, over $700,000. So for us, some of the bids that we got to the actual cost, there's a little differentiation, which is great. Nothing better than hometown people helping and coming together. So that's great. What we have so far, if you look on the diagram, I think Tracy put it on there. We have the 20 by 20 shed. We also have the 2 pickleball courts, as you know, and the splash pad. So the plan going forward, if you look on the diagram, in April, right, Dave, in April when the frost comes out.
No, I didn't give you April, it's when the weather dictates.
Okay, so in April, when the frost comes out,
I'm like a true woman.
I'm just Stuart.
Dave is gonna put the pipes in for the pond. We're gonna have somebody else dig the pond. We're gonna have an irrigation system that will run from the pond, and you see it go way over to the house. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my words. But the pump house. What is it called, Dave? Well, what is it?
Clear well.
Clearwell. Thank you. And so it'll go into there. We have concrete that needs to go in. There's a couple sidewalks, and then around the splash pad, there's be a few bump outs for some benches that we got with a grant. So there'll be some concrete going in there, and then there's also that granule path that kind of connects the whole system to the other part of the area out there. So that'll be going in. Some of the costs, roughly like getting that whole pond system in place, $40,000 to $50,000. Concrete work, I would guess over 20,000. I mean, we have some bigger things coming up, finishing work, digging the pond, all the things. So we're gonna be doing some stuff. We need some trees moved, transplanted, put new trees in. As a DNR grant, you take 1 tree out, you put 2 trees in. So there's lots of stuff that needs to happen. So we're trying to get ahead of the game. In the diagram too, we would love to finish that parking lot, just with how like the site worked out. There is a parking lot there, but it is not in the DNR grant, so that would have to be done at a later date, kind of thing. But I think it'd be a really nice asset to have when we're done for people to pull in and park, because the street parking is limited there, and so, yeah.
Do you have a cost on that, paving that? It is a possibility to go back to them and say, you know, we were under the cost, could we add parking lot to that?
We
That's
just
a
talked about that.
possibility.
Yeah, we talked about that. The problem is there's some work that's going to be done, I guess, for the city later in July. So there'll be a tar truck, I don't know, person.
Oh, okay.
And that it wouldn't be done in time before the grant closes out June 30th.
Okay.
Unless there's a neighboring town we could look for, right? Yeah, that would be maybe able to bring their tar truck to finish it. But we're thinking it'd cost like 20,000-ish to finish the parking lot there. And that parking lot will be a little tricky, it's tight, be a little tricky, but it'd be nice to have.
Mhm.
So
So 700,000 was the estimated cost of the whole project, right?
900,000.
Oh, 900, it was 900,000, but the
turnkey.
grant would pay up to 350,000 half.
Half, yeah.
So let's say our it ends up to be 500,000, the most we would get in grant would be 250,000. That's why I think I kept reiterating how important it was to have all the in-kind stuff. Like anybody who worked on a project, you can include any of that stuff. So we need to make sure just some sort of invoice or something.
Right, it
So
just has
anything
to,
we can add into there.
yeah,
And we talked a little bit about, the city did the loop project and how much of that did Ben, how much?
so, yep, so Ben at the meeting last week,
Okay.
he's gonna get the bills from Schmitz
Okay,
and he's gonna compare them to the
Okay.
bid we submitted for the grant. And so that hopefully the money towards that Schmitz project, the Schmidt bill can be looped in with that grant so that they can get that loan taken care of down. Oh, and it
We can
helps the
use that.
grant go
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Win-win. Yeah, and so, and since our numbers are kind of working out, we're looking into adding a shade structure in there. And also, I kind of want to add in, I just dropped this on Tracy the other day. And Dave might kill me, but, a playground down there. We talked about like, just a little playground, like a obstacle course, or just a little something that I know when I go to the Wilmer splash pad, like my kids run around and then they go dry off while they're at the playground and then we get in the car dry, you know, it's really wonderful. And so, I would think that with how funds are looking, depending on where things end up, a small little something down there would be kind of nice, so.
I can't remember what company it was, but there's a company that does a 50-50 thing too, and they're really easy applications.
Oh.
I can't remember, but we got it for that one playground that's the main park. It's a really a good deal, and I'm thinking obstacle courses might have been part of it.
Yeah, I been working with a guy already.
Oh, okay. Is there a grant for it?
No,
Oh, but you.
no, just a connection.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's also, I think what I'm looking to the city too is with how funds are looking, would you guys be interested in us adding some kind of equipment down at that site? Because what happens is we would have to get the okay, then we would have to submit it to the state because it would change because you can't have like sand, and I told the guy we can't have mulch because the mulch, if it were to get into the spray jets that are on the bottom of the concrete for the splash pad, it can wreck them. So,
Has to be that flat.
it has to be something not, yeah, but it has to have something underneath it.
Yeah.
So like some of the equipment I was looking at was like 20,000, and then I'm guessing labor would be another 20,000. So, yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. Any other questions? We like the obstacle course playground, are we okay?
I think it's a great idea. This new-
Okay,
Yeah.
great idea. I'll keep running with it. Yeah, so, okay,
Dave thinks it's a good idea too.
I think so, I
think I
feel
saw
it.
him smile back.
Yeah, I can feel it, he's retired soon.
Might have pushed him over the. Okay, all right. All right, thank you,
Thank you.
Cory.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Cory.
Yes, you're welcome, Dave.
All right, moving on to the new engineering contract and task order number 1. So the attorney had weighed in. I don't remember exactly what his comments were.
Just to make sure on the task, the order, each individual one that you pay close attention to the pricing. I remember it. If I'm reading this right, termination of contract in number 10, it says either party may at any time, if something really bad happens, upon 7 days written, prior written notice to the other party to terminate the agreement. Is that that?
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
It's pretty short, more commonly 30 to 60
Yeah.
days, however, here, 7 days favors us.
But barring any major disputes between the two parties, should it say somewhere about a 3-year?
5 years.
5-year.
5 years.
Yeah. We did speak with, Tracy called me about it. She had a concern with maybe the council wasn't of the understanding that, say we wanted to have Ben Ossett do work. We couldn't just go to Ben Ossett, we have to go through Bali today. I understood that.
That was my understanding.
Okay, so I didn't. Well, she didn't. That was my understanding too.
We can make the request, but it still goes through Raleigh.
You have a project manager to go through, so nobody had a problem with that.
I don't think I recalled that it was a 5-year agreement.
I don't recall that either.
I don't remember talking about it.
I don't remember any agreement like that at all.
The term.
Again, you have that out. With Bolton and Mink, we actually never did have like a contract for services like this. We just always used them. So,
It's understandable, however. I mean, they want to protect the time they're investing in
that's what I thought too.
learning our current situation and
Into our-
any research they're doing after that. I'm just saying, you can't just change your mind after a year and decide you want to go with someone else.
Right. Just for no reason.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly.
I don't know if the 5 years is standard, like I said, we didn't have that with Bolton Bank, so,
It sounds like we have to do it.
I'm sorry.
We have to do it.
Still about 5 years?
Yeah. Sign 5-year contract.
I'm looking for the notes where Griffin suggested that we should make some changes, and it was in I'm not seeing it in his email of December 31st, but wasn't there, he was suggesting that we needed to make some changes to, it was like in the side margin.
That might have been the League of Minnesota Cities. I honestly didn't understand that at all.
Okay,
Yeah,
it
it's a
wasn't
little-
Griffin? It
No,
was,
that
okay,
had this stuff.
yeah, maybe, yep.
He highlighted stuff, so I didn't. Well, he didn't make any comments.
I thought, well, I thought there was something wrong. I'm not able to see it.
I did see it in what she sent us. It was somewhere else.
I thought it said that we should make a change to the Let's see if I can find it quick. Thought is the recommendation from, and I thought it was Griffin, but I must be mistaken, is that we should make that change, to make the change to the, let me see if I can find it here, please, very quickly. I thought I wrote a note down on my agenda, but I didn't, so. Nobody else remembers seeing anything like that?
I don't recall, I remember reading the comments and I thought it was just to draw our attention to it, not that it should necessitate a request for a change.
Okay.
Vote if the parties wish to extend this agreement.
Yeah, I'm not able to pull it up. Yeah, maybe it was from that Chris Smith. I provided some comments as shown on the attached agreement. I don't see any issues on. And Chris Smith is the risk management attorney for the League of Cities, okay, in Minnesota.
How does the council feel about the 5-year contract? Is that a sticking point or?
I think with that language in there, it gives us the out, right?
There's, I mean, you can't just remote whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'm concerned about that. I don't remember talking about it though. I don't remember it being or I don't recall it.
We may not have even thought to ask about it because we didn't have it previously, so it
Yeah.
wasn't on the radar, but.
I'm not able to get into my email, so.
Any other thoughts by the council? Concerns?
I would make a motion to approve the engineer contract in task order number 1.
I'll second. There's a motion and second to approve the contract with Bollig Engineering, as well as approval for task item number 1, task order number 1. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. Moving on, Public Works update.
Perfect.
Sanitary sewers, great, the ponds are in good shape, we're the right levels for the spring loading. Waterworks, had a water main break before Christmas. We hired an outside contractor to come in and help, it went very well working with them, no issues with that. I'm sure that's probably gonna be, something you guys are gonna have to look at down the road after my departure, is being enforced, that's what other small towns do. The farm system pond is full, that's what we want it this time of year, so we can use it to manipulate the ditch, take out the ice. We did have a problem a couple of years ago with flooding and stuff, so we're watching that again, depending upon what snow we got. Our snowplow trucks are in the shop right now, we're working on like making lights, stuffs are getting rusty, or John talked about, Joey talked about trucks 20 years old, well, ours are old too, we have to manufacture parts, just got done fixing, welding up the fuel tank, and we're making a headlight bucket now that's rusted out and not available, and, having to do some rewiring on them as well, they're in there, just stuff that, just normal maintenance for city trucks, so. We want to put vibrators on the trucks we got right now. These trucks are designed not to raise high, so they don't catch wires. The old county truck and stuff, they actually have short life in them, so by putting vibrators in them, that might shake it out. And that little red one, Johnny Ling's been driving with us. He's been having a hell of a time getting the snow out of there, and we've got plastic sides and everything, and that truck could use a vibrator just for the normal gravel and dirt that we haul with it too, so. We're looking at $650 for that one. I'd like to pursue that. I haven't talked to Tracy about it, and we'll see how that works. And next truck down the road. We did hire a tree contractor in, Big Bark. You guys saw it on your expense report. They got in last year and dropped all the trees in the same day of a water main break. That's, was spread pretty thin that day, but it worked out good, and most of that stuff is picked up. In park, there's big trunk stuff that we have to take down, when we can. So we lost 2 big trees in the park by the skating rink. Any questions on the report?
Where's the dehumidifier that's not working?
Yeah, it's a new one that we got a couple years ago, 3 years ago now. The manufacturer, the guy we bought it from actually, John Szymanski has put me in touch with the guy that if it can be warranted, he'll do it. I haven't had him reach out. I don't know if he's got Brett Allen on the schedule yet, whatever. I don't need a dehumidifier in there till March, April, so we got time. So it might just have to get recharged with Freon from a local tinsmith guy, does that, so I'll be talking to him if he's in the area too, so see how that goes. The other thing that's still pending is the repairs on the backhoe. That gentleman has not contacted me, but knows I am here to fix that as well.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Dave. Anything further for Dave? Questions, comments, concerns? All right. Retirement plan. I know we talked in the past about what was it called? Dave, refresh my memory. It was
The phase retirement?
yeah,
Yeah, Tracy's told me she doesn't want to do that.
yeah.
So-
I just kind of thinking about that. I guess I have more concerns about that and the extent.
I think there was a rule too that you would have to stay on with your same position. So that would be kind of hard to have 2 people with the same position. You hire, new person.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it's written.
Did Tracy have notes on anything she wanted to bring to?
No.
Do you have a month in mind yet, Dave?
No, I'm just gonna keep my options open, knowing that the city, I can't plan with the city, I'm gonna keep my options open.
Okay.
So,
It'll be hard for us to find something. I don't know. It took us a full year to find somebody with the county.
well, I believe you're right, Nick, too, and I'm just, or Bill, I'm sorry. But
Yep.
I just think this is gonna be a difficult job to exit out of, and I'm only glad I told you guys, 4 or 5 months ago for budgeting, it's gonna happen. I think you need to move those days.
The problem is it's difficult to move forward with advertising and interviewing and without a date and timeline place. So what happens if we start advertising and start interviewing and
there's a really good candidate, but they say, I'd like to start right now. And then again, we'd be in the same boat of having, do we hire them and keep 2 people in that position? And we're kind of faced with that again too, so.
You're gonna be faced with 2 people in the same position during training regardless how much you don't like it. You know, that's just what it is. It's
Agreed,
the way it's
but-
changed.
We would know that that's a temporary time frame.
Depending upon the individual and what happens, you know, even in our last exit, when Deb exited, she had to change her plans because of the person that came aboard. I'm expecting to have to be flexible. I mean, we're all on the same board. If we want this to go as smooth as possible, we just have to get moving.
We actually didn't have the same job. That was one of the things Tracy and I talked about. At the first of the year, when I retired at the end of February, she was the city administrator, January 1st. So she took over and I was just here advising. So,
What my point was on that is the timing. You intended to retire a few months earlier, but because of Tracy's pregnancy, I got moved. Depending upon, you know, who we bring in. Can I exit early? Do I have to stay around? You guys gonna be asking me to stay around next year.
I actually didn't change my plans. I was always gonna retire then. We just had less time to work together. And fortunately for us, we made it work. But no, I never changed my
I'm
plans.
sorry, I misunderstood.
No,
Well, my fear would be, so we find an excellent candidate, they're ready to hop on board, we're ready to hire them, and everything goes perfectly well. I would hate to have to come to you, Dave, and say, we're good, so are you done now? Like, we don't wanna push you away either, so.
I'm gonna be working next year, so I'm willing to work with you guys. It's not a problem, okay? I think you guys have erred if you think that you can train somebody into my job in 9 months. Somebody comes on board. And I'm not, if you're asking me to do it next year, 2026, that's gonna be tough.
So are you suggesting we start advertising for it right now?
4 months ago.
I just think that's hard to do unless we have an open-ended type of. It would be.
But you're saying you would hope to be done by like the end of December 2025
Oh,
here?
yeah.
Yeah, or sooner?
Or sooner, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Last time when we replaced Tom, when we had Dusty work with him for a full year. You know, so, it worked out well, we got all that extra stuff done, there's a lot of work that's not getting done out there because we're underpowered, because we have such a skeleton crew. So, it's been said many times, and,
Did we budget for that? Knowing that that was coming, that there'd be.
I think Tracy put in 6 months.
6 months.
I thought there was something, I don't remember the details.
We actually, all her and I only put together.
Yeah,
two.
I think it was 6 months.
Okay, well, I don't know that we have to take action on that. I think we just have to have a conversation with Tracy and.
She could get that and start getting the ads prepared and stuff.
Do we instruct her to do that? Ask her to do that? I mean, well, I mean, no, but I mean, she's not here tonight, so are we formalizing that? Because I'm hearing Dave say we're 4 months late. I don't know if we are or not, but I'm hearing Dave say that, so.
and Tracy's pushing me, and I'm saying, no, you know, our personnel policy says a 30-day notice. And I'm not gonna do that to you guys, there's no way, no, but get this, what? There's gotta be, we both want the same result here, you know, so what's gonna happen. So when Tracy asked me, when would you like to see somebody start? She asked me to put that 4/15 date in last month. She already asked my opinion, you already have it.
He does.
Usually the process is somebody turns in a resignation, then that's the way the process works.
I'm just following the personnel policy, 30 days.
Well, then, if that's what you want to do, that's up to you, you know. You can give 30 days and be done, that's up to you. That's what the policy says. So So we're saying the end of this year, is that what we're saying?
I think that should be or sooner,
She's,
as Dave has indicated.
she's budgeted for 6 months, I'm pretty sure.
But even best case scenario, if we get started advertising now and we find a perfect candidate and we have to train them for 6 months, that's still going to be, it's only a few months closer.
You know, Tracy's asked me to take notes and stuff here, you know, so like I've already said, you know, 2026 is no, so I pulled Dusty off his normal duties to show him stuff that we were doing in the office for year-end stuff, keeping track of the books.
That's my
So it's
question.
already started.
Is there something that you, because you have the supervisor position, is there something that you do that he doesn't know how to do? That's, because he has the licensures except the CDL, correct?
Dusty has licenses to operate the water and sewer.
Right.
The reports to
okay.
the state, all of the,
No, that's
The
a question.
Yeah, how can I say this, you know, when I came back from Phoenix, there were some things that were missed. Dusty and I went over them, and he was able to figure out how to do that. Now Dusty's been working with a long time. Does he do what I do? No, he doesn't. Was he enlightened? Yes, he was, he understood. Just reading the numbers, I was gonna have to go back and inspect something, and I'll just leave it at that. So Dusty is being pushed into my job right now.
But he's a definite no and not taking over your position.
I guess that's not what I'm asking, like on a day-to-day basis, is there things that you do that he wouldn't know how to do? That was more correct, did I not even say that correctly? Like if he had to, I mean, like you go on vacation, so he's fine for that, right? And I'm just curious if there's, does that make sense?
I thought I just answered
Oh,
that.
okay.
well, I think I would say we just get started on advertising and see what's out there. See what we get.
Yeah, I would suggest that too, because it's gonna be hard to find somebody.
It may take numerous rounds of advertisements and collecting applications before we find a suitable candidate, so. Okay. I'll have that discussion with Tracy too, it'll be in the minutes, but definitely get started on it. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, the 2025 mayor appointments. The addition of a city employee in the civil defense role, as well as the city administrator as a deposit signature. Was that not on last year's? How did I miss that?
It hasn't ever been.
I don't think it's ever been on there.
Oh,
It's
I'm
just
like, how did I
something-
miss that?
It's just something that when you do the bank paperwork all the time, it's something the bank requires, so.
Sure, it only makes sense.
Yeah.
Last year I did offer to volunteer to help Dan Wolf. Also, I'll continue to do that. Sure. In the civil defense thing.
All right, questions, comments, concerns?
So we're adding Dave to as city employee for civil defense and Tracy under your deposit signatures, is that correct? Those two?
Yes.
I make a motion to approve the 2025 mayor appointments as presented with the additions.
I'll second.
Motion and second to approve. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Carried. Anything else the council wishes to discuss at this time? Not? Holy cow.
One for the right. And the Wolves, Wolves are playing tonight too. Thank you, Dave.
Dave, were you able to get a box for that blue truck?
Mr. Small and I have got a couple more ideas. He's got one there, but we've also got one out. Pat.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Pat's
it
working
stop?
on it. Truck's out there, and he's got one he cut up to make it fit. And he's giving me
It's still
a
on.
price on that, but we're also looking for a
Wait, no.
$1,000 box to throw on there and make the cost a lot less. So, and we've got one located, we just haven't got the owner nailed down yet.
I know what you mean about the vibrators, cause our county trucks are, our newest ones have them, and they are nice, but,
The state truck that we have has got one on it too, and it's great.
okay.
So is that 650 just
No,
the
it was
equipment
recording.
that you install?
It's a price deal, package deal add-on, yeah, we can install it.
Because the snow does stick to the boxes. So when it starts sticking in our trucks, when we're hauling over in Olivia, you know, from the courthouse, or whatever, we just go get a new truck.
I didn't
Can't
know
start hauling
anybody
snow and let the other one melt.
I
Let it
didn't
melt
change
off.
anybody.
Over the day,
So,
Yeah, and that's why we're always leaving the
Same.
boxes up in the air for this. Faster labor time, quicker money too.
Makes sense.
No.
I can't,
No, I
I
think
can't
that
get
makes
it
sense.
off.
just shut the whole thing
Thanks
down
for
and
Working
log out of it.
Saving it.
Oh, that the video is saved?
I thought like the mayor appointments, I thought you would just go like hammer.
I didn't change anything, so I didn't reach out to the full person.
I signed the checks so that you get home for Vikings.
Perfect.
Now that there might be a crazy day, and we have
Oh.
to say need, but it's always about the fun.
Crazy weekend.
You got money.
I think it was full moon last night, so.
Started my truck too.
I mean, that's
With
the,
your, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and this, like I say, this truck just kind of highlighted it.
All right, I'm going home.
Don't know where it's supposed to go here.
Yeah,
Okay,
right there.
Does anybody know
Good
what
luck with
Are
it.
you Neil?
Hi.
I just get the,
I wanna make
I
sure.
get the
this-
feeling it's like,
Right now, no vaccines. I don't even see them. Maybe it's about Tracy. My phone.
isn't it?
There you go. There you go. Are we still live?
Yes.
Okay, hello.
Oh, here it is. Can't figure out how to shut it off.
Hi,
Unplug it.
Well, we just wanna make sure it saves the
I
recording.
know.
Yeah.
How do I make this shut off?
And make sure we record it.
Yeah, but
Bottom left-hand corner.
You're on the right side.
She's got live video with Stardies.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I'm going off camera.
it does not.
Take it easy.
I
Take care.
can't get it to do
Yeah.
anything.